morning, everyone. I am Lourdes A. This morning, I will be sharing the third topic that I've learned best in Ed 305. This topic is entitled Methods of Assessment, and this can be found in Chapter 4, Assessing Non-Cognitive Dispositions and Skills. Non-cognitive traits is defined by Person Education Incorporated in the year 2018 as the attitudes, beliefs, grit, mindset, self-control, goal orientation, and values of students. It is also referred or known as affective or social-emotional traits. Teachers assess students' non-cognitive traits in different manner, and they are using three feasible methods. First is teacher observation. Second, teacher interviews. And the third is student self-reports. Now, let us start with teacher observation. To have an effective teacher observation, the teacher should begin with a clear definition of the trait. It is followed by listing of student behaviors and actions. Teacher should remember that in listing student behaviors and actions, it should correspond to positive and negative dimensions of the trait. For example, to observe attitudes, define what will be observed by making two columns. One listing column or one listing behaviors for positive attitudes and another one listing behaviors for negative attitudes. So, here's an example of teacher observation provided by Person Education Incorporated in the year 2018. This is entitled Student Behaviors Indicating Attitudes Towards Learning. As you can see, there are two columns. One column for the positive behavior and another column for negative behavior. Let's start with positive. For positive, volunteers to help. And for the corresponding negative behavior, doesn't volunteer. Second, tries hard to do well. And the corresponding negative, doesn't care about bad grades. The third behavior is rarely complains, while the corresponding negative behavior complains. The fourth behavior completes homework, while the corresponding negative behavior is often does not complete homework. And the last behavior, eyes on work, while the corresponding negative behavior stares out window. There are two types of teacher observation, the unstructured and structured. The unstructured is an informal observation in which it is usually open-ended. It occurs naturally, meaning it occurs either during or just after the observation. In unstructured observation, the teacher doesn't use checklist or rating scale. That is why it is not a practical way of recording students' behavior on a regular basis. While in structured teacher observation, teachers are required to spend more time in preparing checklist or rating form. The form is generated from the list of positive and negative behaviors, and the format of checklist is simple and straightforward. And that is all about teacher observation. Now let us proceed to teacher interviews. Teacher interviews directly assess students' self-reports about their affect, beliefs, and social-emotional traits. It can be done individually or maybe in group discussions or also in casual conversations. During interview, it is important that the teacher should first establish trust, and trust can be enhanced by communicating warmth, caring, and respect by listening attentively to students. And one thing that a teacher should consider in conducting a one-on-one interview is that when he or she notice or observe that her students finds difficulty in articulating their feelings, group discussions can be a good alternative. It is because there are some students who are more confident to open up about their feelings or their beliefs the way they learn when they know that their classmates have the same feelings too. And that is all about teacher interviews. Now let us proceed to student self-reports. In the process of self-reporting, it involves 5 steps. First is understand the question. Second, recall relevant information. Third, form a summary judgment. Fourth, translate judgment into a response option. And the fifth one is interpret the response. Student self-reports consists of questions or statements that can be either constructed or selected response. The constructed response formats can provide a straightforward approach. In this format, students can give the response in a simple statement. And for older students or students in higher levels, they can also use essay items. So, here is an example of teacher observation. This is a structured type. As you can see, in the first table, it consists of 2 columns. The first column is the number of occurrences, while the second column is the behavior. It consists of 4 statements. And these 4 statements generally speaks about the attitude or the behavior of student on reading books. As you can see on the bottom table, you see the behavior. It consists of 4 statements. It is actually the same statement with the first table. It is about the behavior of student on reading books. Then you will also notice that the teacher uses 5 frequency. First is never, second, rarely, third, sometimes, fourth, most of the time, and the fifth is almost always. While here is an example of student self-report. As the direction indicated, the student should indicate how much he or she agree or disagree to the following statement by encircling the appropriate letter. Letter SA for strongly agree, letter A for agree, letter NS for not sure, letter D for disagree, and letter SD for strongly disagree. First statement is about science class. Second statement is about reading activity. Third statement is about coming to school. Statement number 4 is about doing science experiments. Statement number 5 is about doing homework. Statement number 6 is about cheating. Statement number 7 is about learning circles and triangles. Statement number 8 is about working in small groups. Statement number 9 is about doing well in school. And statement number 10 is about a belief that learning in school is important. This ends my sharing about methods of assessment, particularly in non-cognitive dispositions and skills. Again, this is Lourdes Elvinia. Thank you so much for watching. God bless us all.